You are now watching the Lone Blown. Blown! Yo, what's poppin', people? You're back here on the Lone Blown. Welcome back to our YouTube channel here. Today we're going to be covering over Rillaboom. Rillaboom is one of the coolest cards coming out in Sword and Shields, with Voltage Beat powering up our grass Pokemon. Well, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be grass Pokemon. You could power up Pokemon with grass energy. So a great way to accelerate energies. How do we get this Rillaboom out? We get it with Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor. So you search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon that's grass type, and then you evolve it, and if you turn it into a stage 1, you can search your deck for a stage 2 Pokemon that evolves from that Pokemon. So turn 1, we want to use Super Growth, power up a Rillaboom, and then we want to start attacking by healing. This deck is a very heal-based deck based off the deck that I saw that Benjamin Fan played at the Players' Cup, which I originally watched on Azul's channel, so all good stuff. Just making sure that we cover all the decks of this format. So we have Hyper Potion in the deck to heal damage, which is great because we could heal, that's 120 plus 30. We could always attach those energies back with the Rillaboom and just kind of like keep on like going on with the theme of like heal with Life Forest, hurt your opponent from setting up, stopping their hands, and other things else. So I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff going on with this deck, so I'm excited to play it in a game or two. Let's check that out right now, see exactly what this deck has, and jump right into it. Okay, so our opponent's just going to be calling the coin flip. See exactly what we get. Oh no, we lost the coin flip. You can leave me a big F in the chat by subscribing to this channel. Okay, so let's see exactly who they're going to make go first. Hopefully they allow... Yeah, that's fine. We actually want to go second with this deck. We got no basic though. Got some pretty cool world sleeves going on there. Shuffle that all back. Give us that Rillaboom. I mean, and by Rillaboom, I mean give us that RowEggs. Yeah. So we got the RowEggs, we got the Grookey. Strategy is just capture energy, evolve. So we're pretty golden there. What are they playing? Is this going to be a tough matchup or nah? The one thing that sucks about our hands is that our hand sucks. Once we're able to get off Super Growth, there's really not much else that we can go for. This is going to be like a Pika-Rom deck. Oh, a Gengar deck. What the heck? Maybe it's like a Gengar Dragapult, which sounds kind of interesting. Big brain Zach, let's go! I feel like I'm psychic. Okay, there's Chaotic Swell, that's fine for us. We might want to try to bump that at some point. This deck could also maybe use a Marshadow. Just because we have 4 different stadiums, Chaotic Swell is definitely making a mess of our cornflakes here. Cynthia, I mean, their hand's kind of popping. I'm not entirely sure their order of operations here. I also don't know what they're going to grab. Okay, so there's a Ghastly. I am honestly not too sure what Ghastly does here, if it's anything I should be worried about. Search your deck for up to 2 Haunter and put them onto your bench. I would have retreated into the Ghastly, to be honest. Okay, we got Tag Call. That's kind of... That's flames. So let's go Tag Call here, actually, first and foremost. Cynthia Caitlin, let's grab a Guzma and Hala. Probably a matchup I don't need too much stuff for. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what I'd need Guzma and Hala for. Okay, let's draw some busted cards. That was honestly not anything that I was ever hoping for. Okay, that's fine. We do have a Thwackey, we do have a Rillaboom. We'll just thin out our deck a little bit. Put the other one down. I mean, it's really not going to affect it too much. We have Netball that can search for an energy, so let's just go for Super Growth here. And let's get this Rillaboom all up and jacked up. So evolve there. And let's evolve again. So next turn, we're going to start hitting with the Calming Hurricane. We can maybe get our opponent to a point where we go Tropical Hour, set them out of energies. I'm still not entirely sure what their whole deck does. I remember the Gengar being a little spooky, but maybe not crazy spooky. Yeah, they're just going for a fresh Cynthia to 6. What else are they going to get? They need an energy in order to attack with Max Phantom this turn. We can actually just go Mallow Lana and reduce that damage. Dragapult typically does not do well against healing decks, which is one of the reasons why Rillaboom is really good right now. Another Ghastly. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how this deck works. I remember like seeing what Giratina did at one point, or not what Giratina, what Gengar did at one point. I was like, oh, that works with Dragapult, but I'm not entirely sure here. Okay, let's, there's a Max Phantom. They're probably just gonna put on the Grookey. Maybe? Oh, they're splitting it up, which is kind of weird. I mean, they're just, I guess they're trying to get to 170. So let's heal here. No, the biggest reason to heal is to... The Life Force isn't going to matter. They're just going to drop another Chaotic Swell. The Netball's not going to matter because we could just search out Grass Energies out of our deck. So let's go Mallow Lana, yeet that out there. That has 3 retreat costs. So we're going to send out our Grookey. The Air Balloon in this deck, that's one of the additions that I've added in here. I think it's really cool. This is anyone, right? Search your deck for an attachment to one of your Pokemon. I just want to make sure that it's not bench and I'm like forgetting something. And I know Thwackey only has 2 retreat. I just don't want to make any mistakes. Fundamentally, it makes sense to not evolve yet. Okay, so that gets us our energy there. And at this point, I don't see any reason not to go for Calming Hurricane. I wish we could heal after we took the damage from the Horror Psychic energies. So, in order for us to get the knockout next turn, we gotta go for the Tropical Hour. We want to make sure that we have 3 extra energies, so it doesn't necessarily have to be grass energies, and we could shuffle all of their energies back. I don't know why they have an extra energy onto the Dragapults. That's one of the things that I'm a little confused about. And to be fair, I'm completely fine with that Marnie too. Unless we don't get an energy, that is. I'd be upset if we didn't get an energy. Or if we can't use Voltage Beats. Our opponent arguably found a way to make our hand worse. Because we lost our Rillaboom, and we lost, and we gained a bunch of grass energies. Oh wait, what? That's really awkward, because now if we go, I mean, we'll just knock out the Jirachi, I guess, at that point and heal. So if anything, by them passing their turn and giving us a free prize card, is giving us a free prize card. Okay, let's see. Oh, I wish I could see what that card does. Well, I'm sure they're going to evolve. So as often as you like, you may move 1 damage counter from one of your Psychic Pokemon to another one of your Psychic Pokemon. So I think they're just going to chill. As often as you like. So I think that's just, they're gonna take their damage back, move it around. I don't know why they're moving it to the Gengar. I arguably think it's better to move it to the Giratina. Just because if they knock out the Giratina, I draw a prize card. They could bring back Giratina, and Giratina just works as a gigantic sponge. I mean, really interesting deck overall. It's probably just inconsistent a little bit. It's one thing that I dislike about how PTCGO goes, you can't just move all the damage counters at once. Makes it a little bit awkward. And they're just passing, so they've lost their damage. It doesn't matter if I shuffle my energies back. I think it just makes sense for me to take the prize card here. I don't think our opponent can do anything spooky. At least I certainly hope not. I'm going to try to force them into those prize cards. I'm not going to put anything else there, so we can see that there's 8 prize cards. If they do knock those out, it doesn't matter. So now they just have 2 things to focus on. Probably shouldn't have necessarily even put down the Rowlet. I just want to try to attach some energies up there. There's no point of me putting anything else down there. And I just attach that energy in case our opponent like Marnie's us or Reset Stamps us. I don't want to go Tropical Hour GX. I just want to go Calming Hurricane. There's no point of us trying to reduce our opponent's damage. We could do that the next turn. We want to make sure that we hit the Dragapult for the 200 damage. The Big Charm's going to be nice too, especially if we want to screw with our opponent's damage output. And we can't forget that the damage that's already been done has been done. Oh, you wanna know what? That's kind of cool. The Ghastly, when it's knocked out, you can knock it out, grab the Haunters. It doesn't say knocked out when your opponent's attacks. So you can move the damage counters to the Ghastly and get out the Haunters. Which I think is cool. I don't know if there's any, like, things to make that work. But... didn't play any support or anything. So in that case, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna grab 1 energy. So what does this do? You wanna know what? I think we should probably go for the healing option instead of doing what our opponent can do here. Okay, so we didn't get the healing. Let's go Tropical Hour, shuffle their energies back. So we've used our GX attack. Now they have 200 damage. And since their energies got shuffled back, we actually don't take any damage. So I'm not a huge fan. I'll tell you this. The way that I wanted to do, I wanted to search out a... I wanted to search out a Hyper Potion. So I could discard my energies, get them back, whatever. Wait, what? Oh, there's a different Gengar? Jeez, that's so spooky. Okay. I didn't realize that Gengar was that spooky. That it could do that much damage to a GX or EX. I mean, it's really not that great. It's like double what an Obstagoon is, but it's only like it's a virtually unplayable Pokemon. And we got our double Rillaboom anyways, so is our opponent just gonna give us another prize card? No, they're just... It doesn't matter, they have prize cards in play. So we just gotta wade through it. I mean... Has anyone seen any good movies lately? What's the weather like? This is the one downside about PTCGO, where it's I wish that there was a way just to group move damage, where especially in a deck like this, if there's damage on the field, move it in amounts. Be like, how much damage would you like to move? And they could be like click, 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 and then move it all at once. So it does make the playtesting a little bit slower. Only has 130. Are they going to give us a prize card? Or are they just going to move the damage? Okay. So our opponent's doing everything that they can not to give us prize cards, which to me, I don't understand why they'd want to keep things on their bench. Maybe they play like Bellaba to just reduce the damage? See, I don't entirely understand. I think, are they trying to not get out Haunter? Like, reasonably, I think they should be getting out Haunter in this deck. Okay, yeah, there's my prize card. I'm fine with that. It's just more Pokemon. And if they don't get an energy in play, I really could care less if our opponent's whole thing was... Okay, they have a Scoop Up Net. That makes it a little bit better. Yeah, now I'm starting to understand this deck. But that's okay, we have healing. And that's something that I'd like to do in this game. Oh geez, our opponent's they're going crazy on us. So there's Shred, 60 damage. Yikes. So they have only 2 cards in their hands. At this point, I don't see any reason not to put this down. Yeah, let's just go Voltage Beat. I think there should be an energy. Okay, we got 2 energies, cool. Let's go ahead and go Netball because that's going to be entirely wasteful. I'm just going to grab out Grookey. And, like, we do have Hyper Potion, so, like... Can we get it is the question. Okay, perfect. Busted. Hyper Potion. Choose a Pokemon to heal this one. We're going to heal those 2 energies. We don't need the special energies in case they play the other Giratina that removes special energies. At this point, I don't know how I feel about Chaotic Swell. I'm almost fine with it because our opponent can't really do too much with it. So let's go Calming Hurricane, 150. I'm gonna heal, putting myself down to 110, and then I'm gonna take 2 damage counters from their Horror Psychic Energy. One card that I didn't include in this list is... There's the one that's gonna hit for 6. One card that I did not include in this deck that other people have included in this deck is the Shaman Prism Star. It's a card that I'm just necessarily, like, I'm not necessarily on. How many energies, how much damage would I have done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like 270. Maybe it would have been a little bit better to include in this deck. So definitely try it. It's just in my testing, Shaman Prism Star has not worked for me. That's in previous Rillaboom builds that haven't been as focused on this. Is our opponent just gonna heal infinite damage? Chill out, bruh. Just gotta wait through it. This is like such a weird matchup. I feel like I'm living through the same turn over and over again. How many nets have they played? They must play infinite net. Yeah, there's 1 net so far. Same old, same old, same old, same olds. On the plus side, our deck's working just pretty much as... It doesn't matter. Our opponents never let any damage stay on that Dragapult. So we're just chilling. I almost wanted, like, if I could find a way to get rid of that Gengar, life would be so much easier. I think I'm just going to keep the 10 there. Okay. But here comes the point of, like, how much damage can they hold on their board? Okay, there's another Scoop Up Net. So our opponent's healing 120 every single turn. But we know now that we don't know what the other card that they have in their hand is. I know they have a Gengar that they put back into their hand. Okay, so they're just gonna Shred. I'm arguably fine with this. Okay, let's just go Mallow Lana. Okay, there's another 150. I mean, they're not healing 150 damage per turn, and they're running out of things to heal. Like, they could put 6 damage counters on a Pokemon, but that doesn't necessarily mean they could do that every single turn. I think our opponent's running into some issues with some consistency. Otherwise, they're just holding on to the, like, God combo. So there's going to be the 6 damage counters. And, I mean, they're probably just going to place it on this one. I mean, I think they could place it on anyway, right? Opponents, in any way you like. Got it. So I know the other card in their hand is not an energy because they did not attach it. But what is the other card in their hand? And what is the card that they just drew is my biggest question while I'm playing this one out. It's just something that I can't be sure of. If they go for Shred, what does Life Shaker do? Oh, they're just moving the damage counters. Got it. More. This would be a deck, especially like in a timed game, that'd be scary to play against. Because you never know, like for the limitless events, this would be a scary deck to play. You'd always be like focused on like what your opponent can't do or what your opponent can't do. Especially considering like I played for 19 minutes, or sorry, I have 19 minutes and 30 seconds. And our opponent has 13 minutes left. So our opponent's effectively played for 6 turns longer. So this is a big turn where are we going to draw a prize card or not? Because this has 130 and they leave it with 30. Okay, and we'll gladly take a prize card. So that means that we just need to knock out this Dragapult. And I think our opponents are like almost out of options here. Okay, that's how they're gonna... Duh! I know how this deck works. It just comes down to what our opponent does. And then they're going to move the damage counters to the Giratina. That's fine if they just hit us with Shred. I'm cool with that. We cool, we Gucci. I get it. We're still doing more damage than they are. There's nothing here for Tag Call that I think is worthwhile. We have 1 Hyper Potion left for healing. And we have 1 Big Charm. So I'm going to try and just attach this energy. See, there's nothing I want to grab out of the deck. I don't want to give our opponent the chance of getting a prize card. Okay, so we didn't get anything. Did we lose? How many energies have we lost here? Just 1? I guess we gotta go for Calming Hurricane. Like, I don't think our opponent has any, like, crazy surprise damage. Like, we still heal damage. So, we heal 30... We still healed 10 damage, effectively. So, our opponent's doing 50 damage a turn. We're doing 150 a turn. How much damage can they take? Is the big question. Because I think they just moved to their Tina... If we can find our other Hyper Potion, I almost feel strong about this hand. If not, I'm a little worried, not gonna lie. Just because I feel like they can manipulate enough. But like we're gonna be down to 2 prize cards, I believe, and our opponent's gonna be at 6. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter at this point. Also, if we can find boss orders next turn, I think we're okay. I almost want our opponents... I want to take boss orders for our last prize card when our opponent puts their Pokemon down to 1. Because they're just going to go Tina here again. Tina, yeet the damage onto whoever they decide. Probably just the RowEggs at this point, because they need to focus on 3 prize cards. Okay, so now they got the Max Phantom going. That's the spooky part. So there's the 220 plus the 5. So they've put us in a position where we actually might not win this game if we don't get it. Or if they have boss orders, we just lose the game. Let's actually go here for Cynthia and just hope that we get it. They haven't played anything for turns. So we need to really hope that we just get a Hyper Potion. I mean, that's not really going to help us too much. So if they end up getting boss orders, they will win this game. Let's go retreats and send up this one. 1, 2, 3. And the reason why I'm doing those is so we can get them back. Just in case our opponent reset stamps us, it doesn't make sense for us to have that in the deck. So I'm a little worried about what our opponent can do here, because a single boss orders just steals the game from us. But if they play wrong, it's possible for us to win this game. If we can heal, that is. Okay. I think they're going to knock out the Tina. 3 damage counters. Tool Scrapper would also, I think, win them this game. Yes. Tool Scrapper or boss orders would win them this game. But, I mean, if they end up getting it, that's fine. It's not even like the Shaman would have actually even mattered in this matchup, because they never left any damage counters on Dragapult. I could see this deck playing another Cynthia Caitlin. I could see this deck, which I believe Benjamin Pham did play. I could see this deck playing... I don't know how I feel about Power Plant in this deck, to be honest. But I could see this deck playing another boss orders. Come on, feed me the prize. Feed me the prize. Feed me the prize. I think they're like a little stuck on which one, like on what to do. Okay, so they're not going to feed us the prize. Okay. So if they go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put the other one on, yeah. Not entirely sure how I feel about that. So we did get the boss orders. The boss orders would have won us the game had we got the Giratina. That would have been a sick top deck. Our opponent has 1 prize card. Let's just go Marnie and hopefully that they don't have anything hots. I think we're actually out of options here. We didn't get our Hyper Potion. They take the damage right to it. The Power Plant does nothing. So they get... If I send up this, they might not win the game, actually. You have a good deck. Thank you. Yeah, they put the damage counters there. I think we'll just go like this. We go Calming Hurricane. A Calming Hurricane would do 150, putting them at 220. 220 would put them, they would just win the game. So if we retreat, send up this. They don't instantly have win. And we might have a chance. If they got boss orders, we just lose the game. We're not in a very good position here. But it's those scoop up nets that took away all of our damage. We're already not dealing enough damage. Oh no. Let's see exactly what our opponent decides to do here. There's the Ghastly. If they're not careful enough, oh geez, they have 6 on there. Maybe they'll just heal the Dragapult, worried about what we might be able to bring out. What's the Quick Ball gonna bring? Okay, there's another Draga. These are the moments where it's just like giving ourselves another turn could have been the secret sauce. At this point, it's better for us to... Huh. There's 6. That's putting us down to 1 prize card. our best chance at doing anything is actually just right here. So if we go Marnie, yeah, we were so close to getting it because we don't have any energies left in our deck. And when I say so close to get it, it's just an Energy Recycler maybe would have allowed us to go another turn. We'll just put Wondrous Lab, just discarding it, and then we'll just pass because our opponent's gonna take it. I mean, they have 2 prize cards left, so if they just got boss orders, they win the game. It's crazy. It's things like these where it's like it's surprising how you can prolong a game by a turn. I mean, you can see that they made a mistake there, not realizing that they could win the game, which might actually put them in a position where they lose. That is for your treat. They have 10 cards left in their deck. Okay, so basically, our best opportunity at doing anything this game would be to boss orders this up. And then we'll go Voltage Beats. So you can see that our opponent gave us an additional turn. And now we have another additional turn. So they might not be able to find a way out of this. And if they do, that's completely fine as well. It's just, I don't entirely, like, we want to play as long as possible. So, well, we know that we may have lost the game. Our opponent's already made a mistake where they chose not to win the game a turn. I don't know if they're just memeing on us or if they think it's funny or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still a mistake. And that's one thing that we gotta try to identify while we're playing the game. Where are opportunities to win the game? It's possible that, I mean, now they'll be able to retreat likely. But if they play just like limited cards, they might not actually find a way out of the active spots and just go like Dedenne GX and then deck themselves out. I don't know what they're going to do with their last card. They're also down to 7 minutes. So there's an additional turn that we received. How many energies do we have in our discard pile? We have 7, so let's go ahead and get some energies back. That attaches them to any Pokemon. So if we go ahead and heal 30, that brings us actually up to enough. So if we go Voltage Beats, and do that, our opponent might make a mistake here. There's another Chaotic Swell. Let's go Voltage Beats. Let's double check what we have left in our deck. We do have a Cynthia and we do have a Marnie. Now, does our opponent have an energy? Because they can't necessarily win the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm assuming they play more than 6 energies. Let's just like go ahead here and take the knockouts with Calming Hurricane. Maybe they'll accidentally send up a Pokemon. I mean, at this point, I know that we should have lost, and we don't have another copy of Boss Orders, but I don't know. I think this is the point where we lose the game. Although you can see that, like, we did manage to find a way to survive. So whether you're in +3 turns, the game's not always over. There's always an opportunity. They might just have it here with the Gengar. Just, yeah, scoop up net. Yeah, our opponent should be able to have it here. Placing the damage counters, they should actually be able to knock out both Pokemon, I believe. It's at 130, so if they put it to 170, they actually could have knocked out both of our Pokemon if they wanted to in play, which I think would have been more fun. It's better to go for more win conditions, especially if you want to go the extra mile. So, our opponent had a super cool deck. Our deck worked mostly as intended. It's just that they had more healing, and we did a lot of damage to them. So that was a that was a super long game. I don't even know exactly what happened, but the scoop of nets on the Pokemon they brought up actually led to a really cool deck on their behalf, and they kind of out-healed our healing deck, where they were able to stay alive a little bit longer. The boss orders would have been a little bit nicer. I wish our opponent played a little bit differently in some cases, but overall, kudos to them for coming up with such a cool concept and piloting it perfectly. So the biggest thing to note is Shaman Prism Star could have been interesting in that game, along with our stadiums didn't really get a chance to play because of Chaotic Swell. Normally that deck wouldn't play Chaotic Swell, they'd play Power Plants or Shrine of Punishments. So it might have just been an off situation against a weird deck, but overall I think this is a cool concept. Shout out to Benjamin Pham for playing this at the Players' Cup, Azul for originally covering it. This is my slight iteration on the deck, slight differences overall, but I think it's a solid deck that maybe you should give a play around if you're just looking for something fun to do on PTCGO. I don't necessarily feel like this is the most competitive deck, but it is a deck that mostly stays through past rotation, so maybe it becomes a little bit better after that, and we might cover it in the future on this channel. Any suggestions in the comments would be absolutely appreciated, or anything else that you'd want to talk about. Maybe you've been playing this list. Let me know exactly what your thoughts are on it. Until next time, peeps, thanks for watching The Lone Blown. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks and have yourself a great one.